Hey, 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 welcome, welcome. Friday Reads Live. This is where we talk about what we're reading today, Friday, this weekend, and sometimes into the following week. So, nobody's in the chat for the moment, but I see there are four people watching. Welcome, welcome. If you do feel inclined, you can come into the chat and just, let us know what you're reading today. Or even let us know what you just finished and want to talk to us about. So, I am Dee Dee, and I'm going to talk to you about what I'm reading today, this weekend, and the following week because a lot going on. So, first thing is this one right here. No One Dies Yet. So, I'm going to be reading this one, and this I'm reading for my Read So Lit book club, which you can find over on Patreon. This is by Kobe Benjamin, and this is quite the read. I've only gotten like just quarter in, but I'm enjoying the hell out of this one. Okay, the next book, of course, you know that I'm reading because I've been talking about it quite a bit, and that's this one right here, which is Miserable. This is a French classic by Victor Hugo, which we're reading in group. Hopefully, we will be able to finish that at the end of this month. We've been reading it all the month of October. I'm still a little behind, but I'm working real hard to make up and get to where we need to be. All right. The next book I'm reading is this one right here, Paul Laurence Dunbar, The Life and Times of a Caged Bird. This is by Gene Andrew Jarrett. No picture of him, but I think he's a black man. I'm buddy reading this one with Patrice. We had started earlier a few months ago, but our schedules didn't permit us to really finish it together like we would like to. So we said we were, try to make a good effort for it for November since this is nonfiction November month. Um, so yeah, so this is a biography of Paul Laurence Dunbar. And the start of it is pretty good. I might have to go back and revise on a few of the chapters before I check in again with Patrice because we had started reading it. I'm like maybe around like chapter three, I think, but I'm gonna have to go back and go through it again. Yeah, so this is one of the main ones that I will be reading for nonfiction November. So that is it. That is what your girl is reading. Let me just show you what that looks like. That's what your girl is reading. Okay. So, yes, yes, I know. It's a lot. It's a lot. Okay, welcome, welcome. Everybody has flooded the chat. Hola, hola, Alba. How are you? Happy Friday, Teresa, Tracy, T Green, Celeste, Olivia, Amalola, Birdie, everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. What are y'all reading? What is up with y'all? It's hard to believe it's already November. Let me take a moment. Y'all, it's November. It's November 1st. Time be a ticking, okay? It just be a ticking. Okay, so let's see. Okay, T Green is reading Frederick Douglass. Okay. Hello, Donna. Welcome. We got Donna in the house. Welcome, welcome. Let's see. What is everybody? So I'm gonna give y'all a chance to tell you what you're reading, but if you didn't, you came in late, I'm reading this when No One Dies Yet. This is for Sunday. We're gonna have Kobe Ben in the house, so it's gonna be fun. We also have Miserable on deck, but y'all know all about that. And we have Paul Laurence Dunbar, The Life and Times of a Caged Bird. That's what I'm reading right there. Okay, so those are all of the main books that I'm gonna be reading. So let's see what's up with y'all. Celeste says plans on finishing Warmth of Other Suns. Wow, very nice. And finally, and started The Defender. Wow, now that's a good one. The Defender. Yeah, I would say The Defender and both The Warmth of Other Suns. Excellent, excellent nonfiction reads. So yeah. Let's see. Tracy says Kobe's a character. Yes, he is, but he's a pretty brilliant writer, I think. It is a pretty interesting book. We should know it's interesting because it's Europa Editions. It's published the book, so it ain't no slouch. I can't wait to talk to him about it. But anyway, um, Birdie says I'm still working on Les Miserables and lost in a book. Okay, it's a Beauty and the Beast retelling. Okay. Hey Fatima, how are you? Welcome for Happy Friday. What are you reading? Donna says Yellow Wife. Haven't picked a nonfiction yet. And she just finished Medgar and Merle. Okay. Well, I mean, you got plenty of time, girl. It's the 1st of November. Don't wait too long, cause look, we'll be already at the second week of November. I mean, it's time just be going so fast. Musical Tati's in the house. Welcome, welcome. Uh, okay, Sharon's still reading Les Mis. Girl, we all still reading Les Mis, but I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I wasn't loving too much though, reading about the Waterloo War because this summer I was in Belgium with my husband for the summer, and we went to Waterloo. So I'm good. I'm good. You know, I didn't want to read all the pages on Waterloo. I'm just saying. But okay, it's done. Curtis, welcome. Curtis has finished reading We'll Never Tell by Kayla Perrin. Okay. This weekend, we'll start reading The Big Payback. Okay. The History of the Business of Hip Hop by Dan Sharness and Despot by Garvey Lewison. Okay. Very good. Olivia said, I guess to Celeste, both those are, yeah, they both are amazing. I said that, yeah, definitely. Those are both amazing. If you haven't read those two, get on them. They're just so good. Okay, I missed Amalola's reading They Were Her Property by Stephanie E. Jones, which I've heard nothing but good things about. Les Mis and The Covenant of Water. Oh yeah, you got a lot on deck, girl. A lot. Hey Tatiana, what are you reading, Tatiana? Hey Bukola, how are you? What are you reading? Hello, Teresa. Okay, Teresa fell a bit behind with the Hobbit. Don't worry. You skipped over Waterloo. You did right, girl. Skip over that Waterloo. I mean, I can give you a breakdown of it when we do the discussion. I wrote a little breakdown so you just understand like the highlights of like what it's all really about. I got an explanation for that. We'll set it and talk about the book at the end of November, beginning of December, probably. Hey, Alicia, how are you? What are you reading? Happy Friday. Fatima says, still reading Bedrock Faith, great book too. Started The Secret Diaries of Charles Ignatius Sancho, another really good one. Tatiana said, just reading Les Mis for now, not trying to push it. Yeah, don't push it, girl. Just, you know, let it flow. Tracy said, shout out to Black historian Jean Andrew Jarrett. Yeah, Paul Laurence Dunbar. Yeah, this one right here. Yeah, definitely, yeah, a good one. Um, there's some pictures in here too, and it's just there's even some of his poetry is in here as well. Yeah, this is a good one. At least it's starting good. Let's see. Okay, so I said to Fatima, loved Bedrock Faith. Yeah, that was a really fun book to read. It had some crack up laughing, moments, but very interesting way of talking about a Black community that has to re-welcome a he left as like a young man who's a little thug, and he's come back with he didn't call Jesus, but has is he still a thug? You know, I got to be able to find out. But Bedrock Faith is real good, real good book. Okay, so if anybody else is watching wants to tell us what they're reading, just jump on in and let us know. I thought today we would talk about nonfiction since it is the 1st of November, starting Nonfiction November. Olivia said, today I'm reading a graphic novel, A Wrinkle in Time, for a reread. Your Childhood Challenge by Mama Daughter. Oh, I don't know this one. Mama Daughter Book Club on Instagram, and just got a couple middle grade Berry contenders. Okay, which ones? Which ones? I'm curious. Teresa said, I wanted to read a nonfiction month, but that will definitely take time away from the miss. I'm not sure. Look, I'm reading this one right here for sure. Now, I'm going to show you some nonfiction that I have that are old that I should have read by now and have not, and some that I have gotten recently and have not. Which I want to do, the old or the new? I don't know. Lex said, she's reading Wild, Beautiful, and Free. Oh, that's a really good one. So, Sophronia Scott. Yeah, it's definitely reading that novel. I gave her that idea. Albus, yes, I was just gathering my nonfiction books in a pile. There you go. Hey, DL, how are you? Hey, Latrice, how are you? What are you guys reading? So yeah, Nonfiction November is always an interesting month because it's really at that month where either you're ready and you got your list and you know what you want to read, or you're not really itching to read no nonfiction, but it's there and you're like, what am I gonna read? Or you want to read all the books, but you haven't got time to read it. I don't know, because it's the end of the year. So usually people are usually slowing down with their reading, but people take their reading goals very seriously and they don't want to, not get their 50 or their 60 or their 120 books read. People start to scramble a bit in November. So it can be kind of a weird month, I think. It just falls at a very difficult time, I think, in general. But be that as it may, I usually try to read at least one nonfiction. So I know I'm going to get all Lawrence Dunbar read, but I would like to get one other book read. So we're going to see how this is going to work, because I just don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Let's see. Olivia says Ferris by Kate D. Camillo, Being by Aaron Entrada Kelly, and The 10th Mistake of Hooperman. Okay, cool. Hey, Nicole, how are you? Happy Friday. What are you reading? DL said, starting Madoff, okay, The Final Word and The Quiet Damage, QAnon and the Destruction of the American Family to kick off. Wow. You're kicking it off with some really good ones. Okay, Donna said to album gathering together your nonfiction novels. Okay, very good. Tracy said, I just started Muse, Cicely Tyson and Me, A Relationship Forged in Fashion by B. Michael. Okay, I haven't heard of that one. Okay, so you see, the thing is, one thing I do love about Nonfiction November is that it's a great chance to kind of see what other people are reading, because you're always going to discover something that you hadn't seen before, or a topic that you hadn't thought of before. And like, even if you don't read anything, I say just look at people's booktube videos, look at Bookstagram. You'll surely find something. I don't know what's going on TikTok, because I don't be over there like that. Not for books, but not for books. But definitely go to people's videos and stuff when they're doing recommendations videos or stuff like that, or even talking about what their TBRs are going to be, because I know you're going to find something that will interest you that you didn't notice. So That's usually what I do. I usually just keep it riveted on that sometimes because you can get some great ideas. So let me show you just a few books that I have. Let me show you three that are old that I have not read. Okay, this first one you're going to be like, girl, what? You have not read it yet? 1619 Project. I'm sorry, but have not. I know it's a good one. I know it's going to be a great read, but have not. Just have not. Nonfiction is, not something that I actually gravitate towards uh, quickly or naturally, but now Dee Dee. Well, look, I'm sorry. Now Latrice. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. Now Latrice. No, your girl has not read the 1619 Project. Let's see. It's about 480 pages. I didn't count all of this because that's, the stuff. But let's see. Nicole said, I usually read more nonfiction books, but I've, wait. But I've started, stopped a few this year. Okay. And last nonfiction I attempted was Policing the Open Road. Never heard of it. About cars lead the more intrusive policing in America. Okay. Celeste said Audible of 1619. Okay, yeah, yeah, I'm on it. Audible, got it. Got you, Celeste, got you. Teresa, Didi, I knew 1619 was on your list that you haven't gotten to it. Same here. Okay, so you see, Latrice. Okay, I ain't the only one. Alicia said the 16. See, okay, so Latrice, what we gonna do? Tracy said that's a great one. The new visual one is beautiful. Yeah, I heard the visual one is stunning. Um, no, I didn't. I thought you've been read that. No, no, I have not. Okay, Dr. Raymond's in the house. Welcome. No, I have not read it yet. I'm sorry, but it's gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen this year, but it's gonna happen. I'll definitely be putting this one to be read for sure next year because I cannot keep putting this particular book off. It's too crucial. Donna said same with me on 1619. Bought that book a year ago for my BB. Okay. Latrice, now Latrice is making us all feel bad. She says, now Alicia, for real? Girl, you know Alicia don't like no damn long books. She gonna need the audio because old girl is not reading no 400 and something page book. Okay, she gonna need the audio. See, Latrice is the page count, and girl, you know it's the page count for her. She don't do the long books. Alba says to Celeste, that's just what I was going to say. Latrice is laughing at her because she like long books. Alba said, what's good about the 1619 Project is that its essays makes it much more digestible. Okay, DL also says great for the audio. So that's 2 votes for the audio 1619. So this is definitely one that I'm gonna have to try to get to. Now, another one is this one right here. This is an autobiography. It's called The Residue Years by Mitchell S. Jackson. Now about this when it came out. When did it come out? I don't remember when this came out. This came out a minute ago. 2013. And I still haven't read it. Has anyone in here read this one, The Residue Years? Let's see. Nicole said nonfiction is much better in audio. I feel like it depends on who's reading it. It depends on the topic. Latrice said, I'm just surprised because Alicia usually reads those kinds of not that long. Though. Alicia don't like them long books. DL said, read that quite a while. Oh, you did read this one. Okay. Uh, I liked it. If I remember right, he does a bit of breaking the fourth wall, talking to the reader. Might be thinking of a different book. Okay. Anyway, this one came out and I was very intrigued by it. And Mitchell S. Jackson, um, it's this particular book is supposed to be very, very edifying. So this is one of the books that's on my nonfiction list that I need to get to. Another book that I have on my list that's old is Something Must Be Done About Prince Edward County, a family of Virginia town, a civil rights battle by Kristen Green. Has anybody read this one? Alicia doesn't like books over 350 pages. I think if it's 350 pages, she out for the count, or 380, something like that. She likes her books short than 300 pages. So 1619 is a lot of pages for Alicia. So has anyone read this one? Wait. DL said yes, check my review of the residue. Gave it 4 stars. Okay, you really liked it. All right, so the residue years, I'm gonna keep it up there. That's one of the books that I really need to get to. This is another one. I don't remember when I think I picked this book up fairly quickly, but um this is about a town um in Virginia where they had their schools still segregated. They were not allowing black kids and white kids to be in school together until like 1986. That's this one. Okay, so this one is written by a white woman, I think. Yeah, Kristen Green. But I heard that it's a very good and accurate account. So there's this one I need to get to. Okay, she said that's correct, 250 pages, and I start side eyeing the book. Okay, you see, there you go. I wasn't wrong. I remember I got you. I got you, Alicia. I know. All right, now on to the books that are newer that I have gotten that I have not read yet for nonfiction. So one of the first ones is this one right here, which is 100 Years War on Palestine, a history of settler colonization and resistance 1917 to 2017 by Rashid Khalidi. He's also the author of Palestinian Identity. This is one that, like, come on now, I need to read this. I've heard nothing but good things about this one. Let me just see page count for this one. This is a very long book, though. It's got a lot of notes in the back. So wait. Okay, this one is in at 255. So if you're interested in this one, Alicia, you could get on board. It's 255 pages. But I've heard a lot of people talk about this one. They say it's really one of the better ones, to understand some concepts around Palestine. This is the one. So yeah, I need to get on that. Next one is this one right here called Africa is Not a Country. Breaking Stereotypes of Modern Africa by Deepo Faloyin. This one right here. Uh yeah. Yeah, the woman is from that town. She's from the town. You're correct, Raymond. Okay, Alba, you're saying you had to read Khalidi twice. Very dense and comprehensive. Yeah, that's what I've been told, that it is quite dense, but comprehensive is what I'm more looking for. The dense part, I'll just go through it slowly. So I won't be reading that fast. Um, okay, Raymond said he's reading Sky Full of Elephants. Everybody reading that book. Alicia said, I read 100 Years War earlier this year. Very good for a starting text. Made me want to go more into the establishment of Israel. Okay, very good. Teresa said, oh, okay, are you liking it? I have an audiobook of that one. Okay. Let's see. I want to read Africa's not, yeah, this one. Yeah, this is the one. I don't remember where I saw this one, but as soon as I saw it, I picked it up. It's like around the stereotypes around Africa, and it gets into the continent's different cultures, because people have a tendency to liken Africa as just one big mass and not really recognize each country for each country specificity. And this book does that. What it does is it points out the difference between different African countries and isn't just lumping them all like Africa, like that. So yeah, this is definitely one I would like to get to. Now this one has some small ass print. Like, oh my God. Blind me, pluck my eyes out and blind me. That's the part that I don't like about this particular book is this small ass print. Like, mm-mm. So it is 351 pages. It's not excessively long, but that small ass print is enough to do me in. So I don't know how I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna have to see if they have an audio or something. Let me see. Tracy said, I think I might read Negroland. Oh, yeah, no, Negroland is a snooze fest. Raymond said Negroland was boring, in my opinion. It's a snooze fest. I totally agree with you, Raymond. Raymond said, I DNF'd that book with a quickness. So did I. I don't even think, I think I have done 50 pages and I DNF'd it. I was like, it's not that she can't write. She said what she writes isn't interesting. It's boring. She's supposed to be giving us, at least what is Negroland is supposed to be this perspective of, you know, the rich, upper class crusted folk. But my goodness, wow, boring, boring. I personally wouldn't recommend it. I'm just saying. Um, Now maybe some people like it. I don't like it at all. Um, Donna said, I might read Madness. Yeah, I heard a lot of good things about Madness earlier this year before I get to the Reformatory. Oh, that's a good idea. Uh, Teresa said Madness is good, pissed her off. I don't doubt. Albert said Everand has an audiobook for Africa. Oh, okay, that's good to know. Good, because baby, this print right here, this is too small. I mean, who's reading this? It's tiny. Yeah, I don't like that. Then my next one I have is this one, which is Kamala Harris, The Truth We Hold, An American Journey. I'm gonna try to read this one this month. Um this one I don't think it's too long. Wait, let me see. This one, it's not even 300 pages, 286 pages. It's got a bunch of pictures. You can see it has pictures there in places in the middle. The print is like a normal size. So this is what I'll probably try to get to this month. Wait. Let's see. Okay, Tracy said, okay, I'll do the message and Lovely One before I bother with Negroland. Yeah, I would read Lovely One if I had it. but I wouldn't bother to read Niggerland. It was boring. Nicole said I DNF the Love Jones cohort. It was a bunch of stats. I thought it would be more of a narrative. Okay, yeah, that's horrible when you get a book like that. Teresa said, going to get that. I love that picture of her. So cute. Yeah, this one, yeah, it is. Because there's two covers to this book, and I picked this one specifically because it's her when she was little. I particularly like this cover. So this is a vintage edition, vintage paperback edition. Uh, okay, so Tracy liked the Carmela one. Uh, okay, Amalola has it. Listen, but nonfiction is always in the air for me. Depends on what I feel like. Yeah, I mean, this is the same with me. This is why I don't usually get a lot read. Pretty much, I feel like I read more nonfiction outside of November, in my opinion. Um, for some reason, I just feel like it's the time of year that causes me the most difficulty because it usually falls at this weird moment. It's the end of the year. Too much is going on, and I can't be thinking about reading books that require so much more attention when I'm reading them than reading fiction. In my opinion, that's just me. Let's see. Tracy says I'm reading Mississippi Solo. Okay, yeah, that one is a good one too. That's a good nonfiction. Because for me, it requires more attention to read a nonfiction than it does to read fiction. So if I decide to implement my own self and really read something like this one, for example, which I'm going to be reading Retreat, which is not a short book. I think this one is coming in like around, let's see, this one is coming in at 460 pages, but there's a lot on the page, so this is something that is going to be a lot. It's going to take a lot out of me as I'm reading it, but I'm going to do it and I'm going to get it done because that's the one that I have my mind on. But I feel like if I read anything else, I might read this one because I think it might go a little faster because this is an autobiography. It'll read a little faster. But honestly, I don't think I'll be able to read anything else beside that because I've got Les Mis going. This weekend it's No One Dies Yet. It's taking up a lot of my time. And I'm going to be getting on to Paul Laurence Dunbar on Monday. But I mean, as far as trying to read a bunch of nonfiction, that's not happening. It's not happening. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to say November, December are downtime for me. I'm in a good place with my reading goals. It's thriller and mystery time for me. Okay, great. I wish I could say the same, but it's not. It's not the same for me. I have some points to hit, and I'm not even sure I'm going to hit them at this point. I'm not. I'm not putting any pressure on myself. I'm just letting it fly. If I don't hit it, I don't hit it. Like last year for 20 books by 20 Black women, I missed it by two books. It is what it is. I missed it by two books. And I think this year I still need to read three books. And here we are in November. Am I going to make it? Girl, who knows? I don't know. We're going to see. I know I'm not going to make my overall goal because I think my overall goal is 70. And I think I'm only at 50 or 51 books. That ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen unless for some reason December I decide to read like 10 books or something like that. It's never going to happen. Donna said my book reads change with the seasons. Yeah, I can see that being a reality. Because in summer some people read less a little bit because they're on the go and they're doing more things outside. Some people read more because The weather's nice and they like to read outside. Some people start to read more in September, October, November because it's cozy season. Everybody's all warm in the house and all that, so they read more. So it really depends on how you are and what your habits are. Birdie says the only one that I know for certain that I'll be reading for nonfiction November is Call Me Indian. Okay, it's about the first indigenous hockey player in the NHL. Ooh, that must be real good. That sounds good. Olivia said, read so many nonfiction books in September and took a little break in October. I only read a few on Mary Shelley, Parenting Teenagers, and the movie and book Frankenstein. Okay, all right. He said, true, I read nonfiction in every month except November. It's kind of, I feel like it's kind of, I mean, that's not surprising to me because literally we are at the end of the year. So I figure if you read one, you've done your duty. You read one. Yeah. So, it is what it is. So the next one, of course, we already know because somebody already mentioned it, is The Message by Ta-Nehisi Coates. It would be great to read this one this month because it's short. I think this one is at like 180, no, 200 and sorry, I'm like saying 100. It's at 232 pages, so it's not excessively long. And Ta-Nehisi Coates is enjoyable nonfiction. I like his writing style. So this one would be nice to read, but I don't think I'm going to get to it this month. It's not going to happen. The last one I have on, no, I have another one. Sorry. I have one more here. I forgot to take out. I have this one, which is Among Flowers, A Walk in the Himalaya with Jamaica Kincaid. Jamaica Kincaid did her walk in Himalaya. She went over this drawbridge right here, which I'm just like, girl, what? So this is a short one, but I know it's going to be beautifully written because I don't know about y'all, but I thoroughly enjoy the way Jamaica Kincaid writes. She's a brilliant writer. This is 189 pages. It's not one that a lot of people talk about, but I'm very interested in reading this one. This could be a great read for this month because it is short and sweet. I think it could be, yeah, a fairly good one. Jamaica Kincaid. Let's see. Oh, thanks, Alba. No, you can't go wrong with Jamaica Kincaid. She has like her writing is fantastic. Um, she's a wonderful writer. The last one I have is this one right here, which I know Latrice has read already. An Illuminated Life, Belle DeCosta Green's Journey from Prejudice to Privilege by Heidi Audizzoni. Audizzoni. Uh, this one, beautiful book, but bruh, this ain't for Alicia. I know that. This one right here is not for Alicia. It's coming in at 484 pages, but I mean, I am down for reading this one for sure next year because I've been eyeing this book for a very long time and was not easy to get my hands on. So now that I've got it, this is definitely one I would like to read next year, and I will not be waiting until November to read it. I can tell you that right now. But this one, this one I finally found at Blackwell's, and who doesn't want to know more about Belle DeCosta Green? Like, who doesn't want to know more about this woman? So that's another one that I got recently or this year, and I have not read yet. So those are the ones, you know, that's what I got. I don't have anything else here on nonfiction. I think that's about it. Um, that I haven't read yet. So you don't, oh, you don't have a hard copy? Well, you can get this one at Blackwell's. That's where I got this one from. That's where I get most of my books from now is from Blackwell's. I don't even mess around with Amazon anymore. So if you're interested in that one, yeah, that's where I pick this one up. Click my affiliate link and go get you one. Go get you one. Okay, this one as well. This one I found on Aid Books because it's old and I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it on like Amazon or Blackwell's. So I got it at Aid Books. But yeah. So those are the ones. Now, if anybody in here can think of any other ones they would like to suggest that they really like that they read, this is the moment. The people watching, so let us know which one you look at. You think you want to suggest to people. That's really good. Now, we talked about earlier. We mentioned the Warmth of Other Suns. We mentioned 1619 Project. We also mentioned what was the other one? The Warmth of Other Suns. Oh, The Defender. Great book. Big one, but it's well worth the read. Another big one I would recommend is Black and British. Highly recommend that one. You'll learn a lot about Britain and Black folks, and there's things in it that are going to piss you off. But let me tell you, if you read that book, I would highly recommend you read it with another person or with a group of people because there will be so many things to talk about. Very, very, very good book. Oh, highly recommend that one too. Thank you, Alba, The Black Count, um, which is about Alexander Dumas' father, the General Alexander Dumas. So, so, so good. Really, really well done. And when you think the guy who wrote that, he had to go through tons and tons of documents, some of them primarily written in French, in order to get the information he needed to write the Black Count. Highly recommend the Black Count. So good. The guy who wrote that, I think his name is something Vice. Wait, let me see if I can find that guy's name is because that book was real good. The Black Count. Mm, sugar. Can't find it. Oh wait, here it is. The guy's name is Tom Rice. The Black Count. That one right there, this excellent. 5 stars, this one. So, 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 so good. Let's see. Uh oh, thank you, Donna. Just the link and shop till you drop. Let's see. Okay, Nicole recommends Algorithms of Oppression. That should be interesting. It sounds like it's an interesting title. That sounds like a very interesting title. Is it long? Or and how is it? Is it dense or is it very readable? because I think it'd be really interesting to read up on search engines and stuff like that. I think that would just be, oh, okay, 248 pages, okay. And it's not too dense, right? Like, like it's readable. Because sometimes when things are too dense, it can make it very difficult. Raymond said, my nonfiction November Rex that I read this year. Okay, King, definitely. I highly recommend King. Jonathan, is it Egg or Egg? I don't know. Correct. Yeah, definitely that was 5 stars. Then we have Raymond is recommending The Last Interview by James Baldwin. Okay. Strange Fruit graphic novels by Joel Christian Gill. Notes of a Native Son. Those all sound like very good reads to me. Birdie says Path Lit by Lightning is about John Thorpe, how he went from a residential school to being in the Olympics in the 30s. Okay. Curtis, welcome. Curtis recommends Ida, A Sword Among Lions by Paula J. Giddings, an excellent biography of Ida B. Wells. Also, When Crack Was King by Donovan Ramsey is a good book as well. Okay, yeah, all those sound really good. Trying to, there's some other ones. Let me see. Um, I'm trying to think. There was one. What was the name of that book though? Trying to think of the name of it. Mm, is it? It's Ig. Okay, Ig. That's cool. Yeah, I think I do have an Ida B. Wells, but I don't know if that's the same one. The one I have it's in the Penguin Black edition. But I think that the one that I have is written by Ida B. Wells, but about the work that she did. Let's see. I'm trying to think. There was another one that I was trying to think of. This an autobiography that I thought was really really good. I can't think of what the name of the damn thing is though right now. Um, I don't remember the name of the book. How the Word is Passed is excellent as well. Yeah, Teresa says. Yeah, I forgot about that one. I have not read that one. I think I have that one on. I think I have that one on Kindle. Okay, Nicole said the Ida ebook is on Hoopla. I'm trying to think. What is the name of the one I was thinking about? Um, hmm. Can't think of the name of it right now. And I've talked about this book before. Um, I've talked about this book before. It's an autobiography. Uh, about a woman. I think she's from originally from where is she originally from? Let me think. Oh, another one. I think the woman was. I think she's from like Ethiopia or somewhere like that, or Eritrea. I can't remember. She winds up living in Holland, and then from there she goes to live in the States. Um, Can't think of the name. And the book is a one word title book. I can't remember. Right. Okay, you have plans to read The Word is Past early next year. Okay, probably in January. All right. Terry Robinson says my favorite nonfiction and this year, my favorite nonfiction read this year is Fat Leonard by Craig Whitlock about the U.S. Navy bribery scandal. It is short but shocking about how easy to bribe U.S. military. Wow. Alba said Diasporic Blackness, The Life and Times of Arturo Schomburg. The Schomburg Library in Harlem is only 138 pages by Vanessa K. Valdez. Okay, and Teresa says South to America, A Journey Below the Mason Dixon. Okay, there's some really good ones y'all are you're recommending. It's true we don't talk about maybe nonfiction enough, but it's not really my forte. But we need to still read nonfiction now. We can't avoid reading. Another one that's good is Shame on Me: An Anatomy of Race and Belonging. That was really good. We read that in the book club. Why can't I find this book? Uh, let's see. Sure why I cannot remember the name of this damn book. Yeah, hold on. Hmm. Uh. Anyway, I can't remember what it was called. I'm not finding this book. Raymond said also add Jane Crow by Rosalind Rosenberg. If you haven't read it, a biography on my fave Pauline Murray. Okay, civil rights activist, lawyer, priest, friend to Eleanor Roosevelt, Thurgood Marshall, and RBG. Okay, it's called Jane Crow. Okay, I have to remember that one. Let me write it down because shoot. Mm. Rosalind Rosenberg. Okay. Alba said, "Love dying to better themselves" by Olive Senior, about the West Indians who built the Panama Canal. Yeah, that one sounds really good too. Okay. Um, those are all really good. Let me just see. Mm. Hey, Margaret, how are you? We're just talking about nonfiction. Do you have any nonfiction recommendations? Please let us know. Um, mhm, trying to think. Um, okay. Tracy said, "My Soul Looks Back" by Dr. Jessica B. Harris. Good. Talks about her time with James Baldwin and Toni Morrison. She also wrote High on the Hog, which, yeah, on Netflix. Absolutely. Um, that's another thing we can talk about as well is when we talk about nonfiction and we start getting into the idea of biographies and autobiographies, which ones do you prefer? Do you prefer reading the autobiographies or do you prefer reading the biographies? Because at one point we had a huge influx of autobiographies written by famous people. Um, I don't know. I don't know as a whole how it really turned out. I read Jamel Hill's what was it called? Her autobiography. I read hers. It was okay, but it was the order in which she recounted things was kind of putting me off. So, you know, I would say honestly it was about a 3 star. Now it's quite a lot of them I didn't even bother to read because I'm just like, no. Wait, let's see. Curtis said another good book is this Waging a Good War, a military history of the civil rights movement, 1954 to 1968 by Thomas E. Ricks. Okay. How is Yeah, is that very readable? The title is hella long and it sounds a little on the complex side. Okay, Raymond says he prefers biographies. Okay, so why do you prefer biographies? Is it because you think that they're more accurate to a certain extent? Because I personally would find it very difficult. Like I said, oh, you have to write. If I was a famous person, they say, oh, you have to write a book about yourself. I would not know where to start with that, and I have a feeling that they hold things back, and it's just, I mean, it is what it is. They hold stuff back. Okay, Alba says I have Song in a Weary Throat by Paul Murray. Sorry, Paulie Murray. Also, Proud Shoes, written by Paul Murray. Thanks for sharing, Jane Crow. We'll definitely read next year. Uh, Curtis said to Raymond, I love biographies as well. Okay, why do y'all love them more than autobiographies? Okay, DL, have a good training. Ciao, bye. Raymond said, I still need to read those two, Alba. I have them. Okay, but haven't got to them yet. Okay, Terry Robinson says, don't like famous bios because they are spraying perfume on poop. Okay, all right. They tell the truth, not the most accurate. Well, this is what I'm always thinking is that it's not always as accurate as we would like. But like the thing is, like we read the Yellow House, and what really made me laugh about that was, oh girl was up there airing out her entire family's business, everybody business except for her own. was just like, okay, you say you're gonna write about, your family in the yellow house, and you leave yourself out of the equation. Convenient, very convenient. Um, Margaret says to narrow down for this discussion, I'd recommend Nowhere, exactly, and self-portrait in black and white, memoirs doing the most. Albert said, I've sourced on biographies. I've soured on biographies, but a favorite is The Bending Cross about Eugene Debs. Okay. So why have you soured on biographies? Raymond said, I prefer biographies because of the research involved, and if they are done right, they should give us a fuller view of the person. Well, I mean, we could clearly see that with King. I mean, he did the thing on that one. Jonathan Ige. Margaret said, "Ooh, that sounds interesting. Oh, Alba's socialism era is fascinating one. Yes." Mylan said, "Yeah, I won't do biographies, memoirs, and autobiographies only for me." Okay, so why is that, Mylan? Because some people are saying they prefer the biographies. Curtis said, "Oh, okay, it's very readable. Good. I thought going into the book it would be very complex, but the author breaks concepts down very easily. Okay, that's good to hear." Milo said the best person to tell a person's story is that person, and other folks could be lying. Okay, but why? Why would they? I mean, I can only see one reason why somebody would lie is because they idolize the person way too much. But who's to say the person, the person that is doing the autobiography ain't lying? Because they definitely have it. They definitely need to make themselves look good in that story because they're reading it. I don't know. I'm kind of torn. Teresa says I like both. Yeah, I like both too, but I think it depends. Like there's clearly some autobiographies that I have not wanted to read or memoirs I have not wanted to read, didn't care to know. So I feel like for me it has a lot to do with the person that will make me want to read it or not. Raymond said, but a lot of people be lying about autobiographies. I mean, this is a given. Margaret said, yet another Alba labeled book on my wish list. Yeah, Alba got some Rex now. Don't sleep on Alba's Rex. Nicole said, I would think the person telling their own story would be more likely to lie. I would too. Because I mean, some people are not very good at being straight up. Even if they know they made a mistake, they won't say they made a mistake. They'll just try to cover it a little bit because they don't want to look bad. I mean, because let's face it, an autobiography is going to be read by your fans, the people that love you. Did anybody read Mariah Carey's autobiography? Because her autobiography was very good. And I think it had very strong authenticity from what I remember. Yeah, heavy, absolutely. This is one that I absolutely loved. It blew me away, and authenticity in it is just heartbreaking. It's such a good autobiography, but you don't often get such honest, talk about somebody's life. Is that Nicole said, I'm usually not a fan of either. I like books about a concept or politics or historical event. Yeah, okay. It was very good. Yes, it was. Raymond said all told some lies in their autobiographies. Oh, okay. Ooh. Margaret said that's an interesting angle, Raymond. Hmm. All right. Nicole said I did appreciate Heavy and Hunger. Yeah, I appreciate Hunger as well because you can tell in Hunger she does not hold back, and neither does Kizzy Lehman. Neither one of them holds back on a very heart wrenching, difficult moment in their lives, and that you can tell they're speaking honestly and openly about it. Um, And sometimes you just don't get that. I mean, I like the Yellow House, but literally overall without her entire family and saying nothing about herself. That's for me, that's the thing that was the most surprising about reading the Yellow House. I expected to get something just slightly different than what we were reading. But hey, it is what it is. Amala said, "Can't memoir be a kind of autobio?" What you mean autobio? What that mean? I mean, it's a memoir. It's supposed to be your life. It's supposed to be reality, the truth. Now, whatever that means, because who can check you? I can't check them. You can't check them. Only their family and their friends can check them. My Mila says, "I want to hear about the bad and the trauma from the person. It could be lies as well or embellished, but I will accept their lies, but I don't want to hear it from the person. Wait, from the person and not anyone else." Well, yeah. Okay. Yeah, autobiography, yeah, but an autobiography like this what we're talking about. When it's written by, let's say for instance, a movie star or whoever the hell, usually there's a certain sense of there's some things in it that aren't exactly correct. There's no way for us to know that, but that person isn't going to necessarily make themselves look bad on paper when they know their fans are going to be reading it. So yeah. Curtis says, "I did read Mariah Carey's biography and I loved it. And also, she is my favorite music artist as well. So that plays a part. But did you feel that her memoir it felt authentic? Did you feel like she was not telling you the whole story? Because that's essentially what we're talking about. Amala said, "What's the difference in autobio and a memoir?" Well, a memoir, I think a memoir it has a more centralized idea about around talking about what that person went through. So it's like it's squarely on that person that's writing. Whereas an autobiography is more or less on a more open idea of a story, like around any a whole event or a family or something. It's not just like if you look at something like uh heavy could be considered like a memoir, or the other one, what's it called? Daughter. That one is more like a memoir, or the one with Britney Spears is more like a memoir. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Google says a memoir can be themed or on a narrow period of one's life. That's it. Whereas autobiography should be the history of the whole life. That's right. Mila said, "And I do find it hard to believe that all these people remember all these horrid details from when they are 3 years old. Highly unlikely for most people, but I'm here for it." Okay. Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you did have a horrible experience when you were 3, I really feel like it is engraved in your subconscious. You may not remember all of it, but you do remember some aspects of it. So if they have to fill it in, then I can see why I'd be able to fill it in. But yeah, highly unlikely you would remember every detail of being 3. No, they're not the same. Memoirs and autobiographies, they're not the same. Um, I'm gonna say tomorrow. So a memoir is an excerpt of the whole autobiography or biography. I mean, I guess you can say that. I mean, it says what did she read? Let's see here. She says it's a narrow period of one's life, or themed. So, mm, I don't know if if you have to say it's an excerpt of the whole autobiography. I don't think so. You're just writing about one thing. So yeah. Anyway, uh, vignettes about your life. Oh yeah, not the whole thing. Yeah, no, not the whole thing. Margaret said, or a reweaving. They can be more creative, I think, than a book billed as an autobio. Well, usually an autobio gives you everything, so you start when the person is young, they go through their adolescence, and you pick up the different points, or if it's a political figure, you may not do go that far. You might just be doing it on when they started their political career. Um, but the thing about memoirs is that there's always this huge gray area around what they're writing. So you either buy in totally in what they're writing, or you're reading it and there's something that gives you pause or makes you doubt. And this is the reason why some people have a lot of trouble with memoirs, is because the gray area can be real gray. Let's see. So, TL Car 08 said Mariah was doing the most in that book. Yeah, she may have been doing the most, but people loved the book, and so they must have bought into what she was saying about her life. So, Amala said, "I love Mariah though. I have it, but don't want my view of her to be tainted, so I haven't read it yet. I think I'm gonna listen to it because I think she reads it, if I'm not mistaken. Let me know if that's correct. But I think she does read it." So Curtis says, I felt that the beginning of the book was very authentic, but toward the end, there were many things that she held back on, like about her marriage to Nick Cannon and why it ended. And you can kind of see why she would kind of do that. Nick Cannon's still alive, okay? If Nick was dead, I mean, who was it? There was somebody who's written one. What's her name? Who's always with Snoop Dogg. She wrote one, and I think she admitted that she had been cheating on her husband the whole time. Well, she said that. Why? Because her husband is dead and gone. So Martha Stewart. So she admitted that she had been having an affair with men while she was married, but I think she only came out with that because her husband is no longer around. But yes, Mariah is like, for the sake of the fact that she got to see him all the time, I could see why she would hold back on that. That doesn't surprise me. Raymond said it's not an excerpt of an autobiography. Usually, authors write one or the other, or they write a memoir earlier in life and then autobiography later in life. Okay, that makes sense. Margaret said, "Oh, I forgot Black Ghost of Empire. That was also a phenomenal history book." Okay. Oh, really, Latrice? She sings in it. Oh my God, I gotta listen to it then. Alba says to Amala, I should have done that with some biographies. Yeah, Martha Stewart. Yeah, I ain't never reading a Nick Cannon memoir either, Raymond. I have no intentions of ever doing that. T Green said Martha has lived 9 lives. I'll be like, at least 9. So, you know. I feel like it depends because I'm not reading nothing if I'm not interested in the person. Because I mean, there've been tons of them that have come out, and I've just kind of like, I don't care. Um, so if you don't really, I mean, if you feel like that's one of the main principal ingredients of the recipe to reading a memoir or biography is to be interested in the person to a certain, that is, we're talking now, I'm not talking about memoirs of people we don't know. I'm talking about the memoirs and biographies of people, that we do know that are famous. The main ingredient is we got to be interested in them. If we're not interested, like, what's the point? No, nobody wants to read about somebody they don't care about. Um, oh, she does read the book. Good, then I'll listen to it then. Okay, Amalisa Violence has been one of the best in recent memory. Yeah, this is the one that everybody was gobsmacked about how good it was, but how tragic her, young life was. Um, yeah. So I mean, I stand by that. I gotta really care. If I don't really care, I'm not interested. I'm not even bothering. I'd rather just read like straight up nonfiction about something else. Because some of these, unless it's a biography about someone, like I'm reading this one about Paul Lawrence Dunbar. Yeah, I might be able to get on board with that if it's somebody that I really, am very interested in learning about. But if I'm not interested, like I'm not, like, no. Nicole said, "Yeah, my coworker asked me to see Alicia Keys musical. I like her, but I'm not interested in learning that much about her yet. I wouldn't be interested in reading about her either. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is." Nicole said, "I went to see the Wiz instead." Yeah. So there you have it. Okay, Donna said, "That's it. Viola Davis is my next read." Well, there you go. There you got it. You got it. So yeah, it's interesting this month of November and this whole nonfiction, situation, like what people are gonna read. And is anybody in here participating in the photo challenge on IG? Oh, Birdie says she's looking forward to reading Patrick Stewart's memoir. Yes, yes, I am too. It's called Hell's Kitchen. It's semi-autobiographical. Okay. Okay, I think the Nope is for the photo challenge. Yeah, Nope for Lola. T Green said, "How are you writing an autobiography and you aren't even 50?" And now that's another story. Because you didn't live 50 million lives? I don't I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Um yeah, Nonfiction November is doing a photo challenge on IG. Raymond said, maybe they think they're gonna have a short life. You know. No, I just think they think their life is so full. They have stuff to write about, but no. But that's just also the period of time that we're in. This idea of what it is to be famous has largely changed since I was a child. Um, Nowadays, you don't have to do much to be famous. That's kind of scary, but it's true. Because like if you look at somebody like even somebody like Britney Spears. I mean, Spears is not old, but she sure got that memoir out there, and people read it. And it just, is that enough to write a memoir? The life, that little bit of life that she's led, maybe. because it was full, over the top, and so she could write about it. I feel like it's really depends on the situation. Okay, someone said, TL Carr said Britney's was incredible. Yeah, and Nicole said some people are just interesting. Exactly. And they have interesting lives. Amala said, yeah, but Brittany lived more than some. See, she's been doing since she was a preteen. Exactly. Latrice said it was because she'd been through some mess. I know, right? She been through some mess, and some of her family members been through mess. Like her daddy been through some mess too. So yeah, so that's why it's like saying that you have to be older to write a memoir doesn't mean anything, because you look at somebody like Britney Spears who has lived through quite a lot of stuff. Um, and she's able to, write it out herself, it's a big deal. She probably did a ghostwriter. Yeah, I don't sweat that. A lot of them have ghostwriters that are so-called writing their memoirs or their, autobiography, whatever. A lot of them have ghostwriters, but there ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I mean, I feel like you expect it. But I think a lot of people listened to her Britney's memoir and you know, they totally understood what she was going through and like what she's been through and her family and the whole thing. I mean, it's tragic. So Raymond's Bobby Brown had one too. Yeah, I don't. I yeah, no, I wouldn't have read his, but I question if he can be totally honest. Is he capable of writing a memoir and be totally honest, Bobby Brown? You think? I'm not so sure. I would question that. How honest could he really be? Hmm. This is interesting topic. Of how much we believe of what we're reading when we're reading memoirs and autobiographies. It's a really interesting topic to think about. Um, can't say I read a ton of them, but when I do, it's because I really want to know about that person. Olivia said she read a lot of music memoirs and stuff for her job. Some are good, some are just name dropping, name dropping, weird money grabs. But if you are a fan of the person, they are usually worth it. Okay. Raymond said when Bobby Brown said he had sex with a ghost in the book. Oh Lord Jesus. All right. Okay. All right. Teresa said I was questioning Jada being honest, which is why I didn't read. Like, come on now, Jada ain't gonna be honest. There is no way, no way, no way she was honest. Donna said I read Bobby Brown's and I found it very honest. Okay. Nicole said, laugh out loud. I believe Bobby. Okay. And you believe Bobby had sex with Ghost? since since Raymond brought it up, because I haven't read the book. Mila said, I have Arnold Schwarzenegger's memoir from 2012. And he has lived so much more life since then. Now I don't even want to read it. It feels so outdated now. Yeah, well, this is also another problem with those memoirs. When they're written in such a vacuum like that, they have a tendency to feel dated much, not even that many years later. 10 years later, it's already feeling really dated. Okay, Olivia said I always highly suggest the audiobook for music memoirs because they usually have songs in them. TL Carr says Jada's book, that was ridiculous. Okay. I, look, I don't know. I ain't read it. I was not interested. Birdie said, I'm not sure if this counts as a memoir, but it's his diaries. The diaries of Alan Rickman is a one that I really want to read. Nicole said, I believe he was on something to make him believe that. Melissa said, Bobby Hill, what? Donna said, I don't remember the ghost thing. Amalula said, I'm not reading anything from Jada. See, this is what I'm talking about. I'm not reading that Jada either. Pam Pam said, hey, how are you, Pam Pam? What are you reading? We're discussing at the moment biographies and memoirs and, do we believe them? Do we not believe them? Interesting. So that, like I said, it has a lot to the popularity of the person has a lot to do with also if that book is going to sell. Because I remember when that big old book came out from child, that book was not moving. It was not moving. But when Will came out, which it came before Jada's book came out, but when Will's book came out, it moved fast. I mean, a lot of people, him so much more than they like Jada. So that's not that surprising. Um, but yeah, I mean, there's still this. How much of it do you believe is real? What they're saying. Okay, Teresa said Will's was very good. Raymond said Bobby mentioned about the ghost sex in an interview he did when his memoir came out. Oh Lord, that's a good way to sell a memoir. Tell people you had sex with a ghost. They're all gonna want to run out and see what's in it. And Donna said Jada touts her book as self help or inspirational. I don't know how she can tout a book as self help. How is she doing that? What kind of self help is that? Her red table talk self help? No, thank you. Pass. Sharon Washington said, I don't believe Will Smith or Jada, but Will's book was so entertaining. So basically, the majority of the people in here are down for the mess. Okay. They don't care if the shit is true or not. They just down for the mess. I get it. I get it. I get it. I totally get it. T Green says, right by the time Jada's book was released, people felt like they knew the gist of what was going on with those two. Uh, T Green said, I don't want that help. Look, I'm telling you, that is not help. That is not help. I don't know how she can tout her book as self help. Like, where do that at? Confusing. Raymond said self help, Jada helping herself to those book royalties. Nicole said the Now Habit is my fave self help book. Okay. I don't like self help books, so that's not selling. Jada didn't sell me nothing. Okay. Nothing did she sell me with if she's saying that. Look at self help. I'm out. I don't read self help books. Tracy said Will came off as a bit narcissistic to me. He's messy too. No duh. No duh. Alba says not Friday goes by. You guys don't crack me up. Nicole said I don't either, but I do enjoy practical ones. Yeah, no, I'm not reading no self help book. Sorry. No, I didn't read Will's book and I didn't read Jada's, and like I don't care about either one of them. So I'm not spending my coin on that. But I'll wait for y'all to give me the lowdown. Nicole said I read a book called Writing Without Bullshit for nonfiction writers. Okay. Raymond said Jada need to teach us about how to tell the truth and then tell us what we really want to know about her. Well, that's not gonna happen. Forget it. I ain't never happening. That is not happening. And now with all the Diddy stuff coming out, you definitely ain't hearing from nobody. You ain't hearing from the Kardashians. You ain't hearing from Jada and Will. You ain't hearing from nobody. Everybody's silent. Okay, ain't nobody getting pictures taken nowhere. Everybody Instagram is on the low. Mm-mm. The truth. What is that? What is the truth? What is the truth? It ain't sitting nobody free up in there. That's all I gotta say. Ain't nobody getting free. Child, we been and hated on Jada up in here. There was tons of people in here hating on her. Like that was way back when I was the last few videos I did on IG. We were talking about that book when it came out. Like nobody was touching him with a barge pole. Everybody quiet. You see, that's what I'm talking about it. Everybody quiet. And hoping they aren't on the tapes. Child, you know they on them tapes. Just hope that nobody gets around to seeing them on the damn tapes because there's so many of them. Whew, child, but they got all the way till next year to look through them. Nicole said she's in one of my fave moves, Collateral, so I can't hate on her. Yeah, I mean, I like the Matrix. She's in that one too, but I just kind of act like she's not in it. That's all. I'm a Lois to T Green. They know they're on the tape. That's what I'm talking about. They know they're on the tapes, but will they get to see them on the tapes because there's so many of them? Tracy said Will is just messy, but Jada gets more hate. Yeah, no, because Will is charming and people think he's the Prince of Bel Air, blah blah blah. But even when he was on the Prince of Bel Air, I didn't like him. I like the Prince of Bel Air, the show, but Will, I don't like him. So for sure, he has more, cred than Jada. People don't like Jada like they like Will. They just don't. Amalula says that New York prosecutor will watch every minute of those tapes himself if he has to. Girl, I say more power to him. He can do it. It's disgusting. Disgusting. But they'll be watching all the way to next year. What is it? The thing is supposed to be the trial is supposed to be the month of May, I think. May 2025. Well, they better get watching then, because they're like thousands, tens of thousands of these, tapes. Because apparently he had instead of there being like one T size, some of them are 4T size. You know how much video you can get on a 4T size thing? Jesus. This is like, it's too much. It's too much. I'm Lola. No, it was Nicole said, I generally like the Smiths, but I still ain't reading their books. Okay. Alice says, I hope it's televised. I hope it's televised as well, but for some reason, I'm thinking it won't be because of the amount of famous people that are involved. I have a feeling they're going to find a way not to make it televised, although I think it should be televised. I think it should be wide open. Everybody should be able to see that case. T Green said Jada talked about Tupac more than Will. Well, that's not surprising either. I don't know. Is it really surprising? I don't think it's that surprising. What do you mean? What about the victims? What about the victims? I don't know. I mean, they could televise it. They can always protect the identities of the people, but I don't think they'll do it just because of, like I said, the amount of famous people that are involved. They're not going to do it. Whoo, child. I could not imagine being on that jury. That's like you're never leaving that hotel. Like you're gonna be in that hotel for a whole damn year trying to figure that mess out. No, I don't see them televising it, but I think they should because of the magnitude, the sheer magnitude of it. It should be televised, but I don't think it will be. Yeah, no, they don't they televise, and they don't even they don't televise the trial in France either. You got to get your mind right to be on that jury. That's right. I don't think people can get their mind right enough for that jury. Exactly, and I feel like that's the bad cause. Yeah, everything has to be for entertainment, and it's like, yeah, everything is not entertaining. Certainly not that. That is not entertaining. But everybody will be riveted on, all of the shows that are, because you know what's going to wind up happening. They're going to have journalists there. Journalists will be sitting in the audience, and they're going to be catching the trial every day. So every day, you're going to wait for somebody to come out of the trial and give us, oh, today this is what happened, and they'll show maybe a few pictures here and there, but it's gonna be a little bit like that trial that they had with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, where it was every day there was some recount about this, that, and the other one, and the back and the forth, and every day there was, that trial was filmed. But even if you didn't watch it, you heard it. It was all over the place. So I feel like that's what's going to happen. Is that there are a lot of people going to try to get in the audience of that trial, and then they're just going to report it like that. They might not be allowed to tweet live. That probably won't. They probably will tell them that they're not allowed to do that, and they may, if they don't want them to do that, probably block the thing so that they can't do that. But I tell you, when they are going to have content for the year. Okay? Content for the year. Look at all the content they've got now, and there is no trial. It's just accusations at this point. And look at all of the videos surrounding the whole case. It's just crazy. Um, yeah, I mean, nobody cared. Somebody cared because people were watching it and talking about it, and it just was like never ending. Tracy said, I remember being called for jury duty when Diddy was facing that gun charge. You were all hoping not to get chosen for that one. I was chosen for a civil case instead. Ooh, Jesus. Oh my God. T Green. Raymond, you are correct. Content for the century. Okay. So, it is what it is. The world we're living in today, but we got bigger fish to fry. We got to get Kamala in the White House because otherwise we all gonna be in trouble. Diddy will be the least of our worries. Let's just put it that way. All right, guys, I'm out. This has been great talking to you this lovely Friday. So I will see you, of course, next Friday. And hope to see you guys tomorrow to discuss the Secret Diaries of Charles Ignatius Sancho. I'll be discussing it with Michael Tiana tomorrow. So looking forward to seeing you guys for that. And I will see you again on Friday and maybe in a video really soon. Alrighty. Bye.